Moving 500 miles away halfway through my sophomore year of high school is definitely a struggle for me. I was Carolina born and raised, and I was being forced to concoct a makeshift home of 3312 Arnold Street, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I had been friends with many of the people I was leaving behind since elementary school and hadn't had to deal with the process of making new ones in years. Moving to Philly was like starting from scratch. I didn't know a single person there, and the so-called city of brotherly love was anything but loving. Just as I had already established my friend group consisting of childhood companions, so had everybody at Roxborough High School. So on my first day of school, I wandered around the unfamiliar, uninviting place, deflecting the stares and whispers, praying that 249 would somehow find a way to come quicker. I met only a couple of people over the next week. However, those that I did meet seemed to only be speaking to me out of courtesy and sympathy for the new girl. I talked different, I walked different. I virtually oozed differentiation and gave off the scent of desperation for inclusion amongst my peers. My country accent was thick and made me stick out like a sore thumb. Their walks exuded attitude and confidence, things I clearly did not possess. A few weeks went by and I still was alone and on the quest for friends. One day, I heard the beeping of a truck in reverse outside my house. I peered through the blinds and saw a moving truck unloading boxes into the house next door. I walked out onto my front porch on that brisk November evening and met the girl moving into 3310 Arnold Street. Her name was Kalia. I never could have fathomed how many memories we would make over the next 3 years, and all of the pivotal moments that will mold the bond the two of us have. We've gone through a lot over the course of our friendship. The majority of our friendship took place in high school, so it had to endure the adversity that comes with high school. Mainly boys, drama, and the yearn every teenage girl has to become a part of the elite popular crowd. However, we created an unbreakable bond early on, and the glue our bond consists of can be defined by one specific moment. It's been said that nothing is constant except change, be it in location, friendships, or anything else. They are all expected to take time and progress gradually, impacting our outlooks on life as they come. We rarely assume change to be instantaneous, but in the blink of an eye, everything can become different. A couple of weeks after our initial meeting, we had become close. She and I were in her house home alone and baking a cake dancing around the kitchen. The smell of German chocolate and the sound of Baby by Ashanti drifted throughout the kitchen. Out of nowhere, she burst into tears. I've never handled emotion well, so I awkwardly made my way over to her and placed my hand on her shoulder. "What's wrong, darling?" Those are the only words I was able to muster up. "I have to tell you something, Mean," she said shakily. "Please don't judge me." "Never," I replied. Her response made me drop the spoonful of coconut pecan frosting I held in my hand. "I think I'm pregnant." Her words came clearly, but I was having trouble understanding. You're what?" "Pregnant, I think." "But you're only 15. Teen pregnancy was a concept so foreign to me. It was an uncommon occurrence down south. "I told you not to judge me," she yelled. I yelled back, "Chill, I'm not even judging you. I'm just shocked." I hugged her, and we just stood and embraced, her crying on my shoulder. In the kitchen until she calmed down. "It's gonna be alright. Before you panic, let's just find out for sure if you are." The next day she knocked on my door. She was ready. We went next door to her house and went to the upstairs bathroom. She sat on the toilet and I sat on the edge of the bathtub next to her while she took it. The first line appeared. 3 minutes later, the second line displayed itself faintly next to the first. About 6 months later, on May 29th, 2011, my godson Jaden was born. When you have a child in high school, you lose a lot of friends. People don't want to be associated with you because of the negative perception that comes from having a child young. It makes it hard to go out and party and have the experience that one does in high school. However, 2 years after Jaden's birth, and we are still the best of friends. Her and her son have become permanent fixtures in my life. Even when I left Philly to come here to Penn State, we made sure to maintain our friendship. I visited home every few weeks, and we would spend at least an hour on the phone every day. A few weeks ago, we made plans for me to come up and celebrate her birthday. I booked my travel arrangements and made planned activities for that weekend to celebrate. The week of her birthday had come and the plans were finalized. On November 5th, the day before her birthday, I realized I had not heard from her all day. So I decided to text her older sister Geraldine to see if she had. But Kalia wasn't there. I went to bed with my heart beating 100 miles per minute, just wondering what was going on and hoping for the best. 7:15 the next day, I woke up not to the ringing of my alarm, but to a phone call. Geraldine's voice came across the line. Hey Nina, I was a little bit blunt with you last night. I did speak to Kalia briefly yesterday. We met up at a gas station in Roxborough, and all she said was that she'd be in contact. I think she ran away. Thoughts of panic and worry began to race through my mind. Where is she? Is she okay? Who's she with? I asked her sister these questions. She was only able to answer the last one. Mark, she's in love. We ended the conversation that I could prepare for class. The concern quickly turned to anger. Why would she run away? We've already made the plans for her birthday weekend, and a significant amount of time, money, and planning has been put into ensuring its success. For her to up and leave is so inconsiderate and irresponsible. She let me down, but more importantly, she let down the person who should have been her number one concern, her son Jaden. I've never considered the effect that one person's absence could have on the people around them's lives. It should be quite a sight to see how life goes on.